1 2 1 2 1 2. Let me lock in. Let me lock in. Let me lock in. We're gonna get busy tonight, gang. Emergency meeting. Let me lock in. Gang, listen. All right, we got sound. Listen. I gotta discuss some things tonight, gang. I gotta discuss. Hit the like button, hit the share. Diego in the building. I've been thinking about this for a while. Gang. I'm just gonna be honest. We gotta talk. We gotta see you. What's good? Ron Stewart, I see you. Young Money, I see you. Regal Love, I see you. We gotta talk, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. We gotta have a conversation. I've been seeing this for a few days, and I've reached a point where I can't be silent about this no more. Salute to the people coming into the chat. Take a shot with me. We great have a conversation. Some hip hop. Want some hip hop shit. Black Mall in the building. Salute. We're gonna have a real hip hop conversation. I'm gonna be honest. Chapo, what's good? Gummy Bammers, what's good? Ghost Gaming, T Childress. Listen, Mim, I see you. Black Curl Magic, let's go. Listen, what's going on, man? The emergency meeting. Black Curl said, who got the snacks? All I got is water and a little bit of rum, gang. But I got water in my cup. Listen, man, I'm a little bit annoyed with hip hop, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. Mr. Stacy, what's good? How the volume? How the vocals before we get started? Positively Pepper Jones, how we looking? I don't know what's going on up in Harlem, gang. Listen, I love New York. I love Harlem. I ride through New York all the time. I've been through New York for years. When I used to go through New York, you would hear the bestest of hip hop, right? When I used to go through New York, that's when you would hear Big L and Jewel Santana and this, that, and the third, right? Salute to New York. We wouldn't have no hip hop without New York. Let's just keep it a bean, right? But what's going on in New York right now, gang? I don't understand it. Iron Will, I don't understand it. Harlem, what's going on in Harlem? Listen, I'm never going to be disrespectful, so you know I'm not going to be disrespectful for anybody, any borough, but Harlem, I need to talk to you. What's going on, Harlem? Nasir, I see you. Harlem on the rise. You don't want no problem with these guys. Listen, I love Harlem. I love New York. But I don't understand what my eyes are seeing right now, gang. I got a whole thing I'm going to talk about tonight. I've been thinking about this for like 2 days. First, the Dame Dash story, right? Dame Dash got like 2 or 3. Dame Dash just won't quit, right? We got Dame Dash out here. He the king of the chatty patties, right? What's that thing on SpongeBob? Crispy Crab, right? He the crispy patty. He the crispy chatty patty. Gang, this dude Dame Dash just won't stop talking. He went on the king of gossip shows talking about gossip. He went on Jason Lee's show and tried to go tit for tat with Jason Lee. Why are you going there? You know this guy does nothing but talk gossip. So you're going to come on there like you're anti-gossip, gang. So the Dame Dash thing, Dame Dash literally is starting a new record label when it wasn't even 2 months ago where he said there ain't no money in the music business. Dame Dash forgets the stuff he says, gang. Dame Dash literally has a video, and I'm not showing no videos tonight. We're going to use your imagination. We're going to use our imagination tonight. I'm not showing no videos tonight. I'm not showing no clips. I'm not showing nothing. We're going to just talk, right? We're going to talk about the Crispy Crab, okay? We're going to talk about this right here because Dame Dash is starting a new record label, right? What's the Krusty Krab? Well, we're going to call it the Crispy Crab, all right? Salute Noah in the building. Dame, we calling Dame the crispy crab. Listen, I want to talk about Dame forgetting all the lies he done told. He said it ain't no money in the music business. Couldn't have been 2 months ago. Now he's starting a new record label. Dame Dash Music, gang. Okay, that's number one, Harlem. First strike one, Harlem. What we doing? You still got Dame Dash running around out here. Right? No disrespect to Harlem. I'm going to show Harlem mad love in this. We just want y'all to get it together. We want y'all to get the crispy crab together. Okay? I want to talk about this. Then you got your boy Jim Jones. Salute to Jim Jones. No disrespect to Jim Jones either, right? But Jim Jones out here calling Drake the GOAT. This, that, and the third. I remember a different Harlem where you wasn't calling nobody no GOAT if they wasn't you or your mans or they didn't live in Harlem. Your boy Jim Jones calling the dude from Canada. Gang, we got some splaining to do, gang. We got some splaining to do. Listen, I don't understand what's going on, Harlem. And then last but not least, Harlem. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think Max B is out of Harlem too, right? In Harlem, Max B is putting himself up there with Nas and Biggie. Max B stormed off of a podcast because they didn't put him in the top rappers of New York. He said a few days ago that he could rock with Big Daddy Kane and LL Cool J because he just that nigga in New York. Gang, I don't know what's going on in Harlem, and I get it. You're supposed to be confident, right? You're supposed to be confident, and you're supposed to have some confidence in what you do on the microphone as a rapper. Old school, yeah. That's what we do. We supposed to have some confidence, but you're supposed to be realistic too. Okay? You're not supposed to say it's Nas, Biggie, and me. Right? I'm right behind Hove. Right? Now get it. Let's be honest. Max B got some. Okay, let's put it like this. When Max B got out of prison, right? I said from day one, I did not really listen to Max before he went in like that. I knew who he was. My daughter was a real big fan of Max B, the wave god, and this, that, and the third, right? I wished him nothing but the best. I think Max did what, 16, 17 years, right? Salute to the super chat. I see you. He said, have you seen JID calling it J? I'm going to talk about that J situation, that bar. We're going to talk about that. Salute to the boss. I'm definitely going to talk about that JID situation. I got a whole video coming. But thank you for the super chat. But listen, when Max B got out, I said I am rooting Max. I was rooting for Max B. Don't even know his music. Can't name none of his music. I learned more about Max B after he got out. I took a crash course in Max B after he got out. Right? I knew who he was, and I knew 2 or 3 songs, and I knew that he did something really, really shaky and got him imprisoned, right? I knew that. And I did a couple stories on him. I was like, well, listen, this, that, and the third of what had happened with what he was accused of and stuff like that jazz there, right? But I didn't know much about Max, and I damn sure wasn't putting Max in the same category as a Biggie Smalls and a Big Daddy Kane, for God's sakes. But I believe Max B is also from Harlem. I believe Dame Dash is from Harlem. I believe Jim Jones is from Harlem. And I believe Max B is from Harlem. And I believe y'all making Harlem look crazy. You got Camron out here. He making a whole lot of money on the podcast tip. But it seemed like everybody from Harlem is at each other's throats right now for one reason or the other. And they saying a lot of crazy shit. They looking outwards. They looking outwards for validation. You're trying to align yourself with Drake and this, that, and the third. It's getting crazy, spooky, and hilarious up in Harlem. It's hell up in Harlem, gang. And hip-hop right now, hip-hop down bad. If you got Harlem control running hip-hop right now, it's looking kind of crazy, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. And no disrespect to I'm sure somebody in here is from Harlem. Salute to Harlem and all that. But we gotta have a conversation. What I want to do before I start to speaking on Harlem as a whole, I'm definitely not gonna disrespect Harlem. I'm gonna big up Harlem, right? I want to talk about Harlem so all of us can have a bigger understanding of what's going on in Harlem. Right? How Dame Dash said, I talked to my OGs from Harlem and they told me to stop beefing. But he never stopped beefing. He said last year his OGs in Harlem tried to check him, tell him stop beefing because you're making Harlem look crazy. He ain't do nothing but ramp the shit up. It's worse now. Remember when Dame Dash ain't had no shirt on? He went on that boat with Nicky Licky. He was on the dock of the bay. Salute to Justin. Justin Integrity One said, I'm from Harlem, bro. He said, watch your mouth, right? End of the day, Harlem, we got it. We got some explaining to do. You in danger, girl. Listen, Harlem, we got some explaining to do. These dudes looking crazy. Your boy Jim Jones saying Drake is the GOAT. Dame Dash out here arguing with Jason Lee, arguing with everybody from Harlem and everywhere else, talking about he gonna start a whole new record label. When he said ain't no money in the music business. He said that 2 months ago. I got the I think he said it on Art of Dialogue, and now you starting. He said he would never get back into making records again. That is a direct quote. That wasn't but 2-3 months ago. That is a direct quote. And now he's starting Dame Dash records all over again. He's looking for artists. He has a whole advertiser talking about, yo, I'm looking for Harlem. I'm looking for artists, media personnel, this, that, and the third. Now, you could go sign with Dame Dash if you insane. But I don't see a reason to do such a crazy thing with your career. I'm just going to be honest. We're going to have this conversation. I got the articles pulled up. But before we get to bashing Harlem, I want to talk about Harlem so you guys can know Harlem is a beautiful place. Harlem is a very, very, it's artistic. A lot of things, some of the best music, some of the best performers, the best clubs in New York were in Harlem. Harlem was Black Mecca, gang. This is where we flourished. The most beautiful, the richest, the most exotic men and women were in Harlem. This is where they were flashy. I'm talking about years ago. You had to go to Harlem to actually get your swag. So Harlem was a beautiful place. Creatives and all that up in Harlem. So what I did, I'm like, how did we get here? Because before we get to trying to fix Harlem and bash it, let's understand it, right? So I Googled, I said Harlem. These guys right here can't represent the best of Harlem. So I said, who are the top 20 rappers of Harlem? Right? Let's start there because we've devolved into something, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know if it's because Big L passed or Mase went to the church. I don't know what happened. But this Harlem, it is looking bad, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. I want to have this conversation. So Harlem has contributed some of the most influential, stylish, and lyrically dense artists in hip hop history. That means that they're heavy, right? They're in this shit for real. This list is the 20 best Harlem rappers of all time, right? And I want to have this conversation because first, before we start bashing Harlem, right? Before we start bashing Harlem, let's build it up first. So there are 20 rappers on this list, and you guys can tell me whatever, right? But this right here is the 20 best rappers from Harlem, just so you guys can know they have a lavish history over there, right? New York was different. Listen, Justin, New York was different. The number one rapper from Harlem, according to this list, got this off Google, is Camron, according to this list on Google. The undisputed king of Harlem, Camron is the visionary behind the Diplomats, aka Dipset, known for his flamboyant pink aesthetic and elite wordplay. His albums Come Home With Me and Purple Haze are certified New York classics. To me, the best Camron album, and I know y'all not going to agree with me, the album he did with Hov on Rockefeller. And I believe, ain't that Come Home With Me? I believe that's Cam's best album to me. Now, I know most people going to say, nah, son, it's Purple Haze. I get it. But to me, that's it. Now, let me just be honest. Camron being number one, that's stepping on a lot of toes. Let me continue. Number two is Big L. Big L is often cited as one of the most gifted lyricists ever. Big L possessed a terrifyingly sharp flow and multi-syllabic rhyme schemes. As the founder of Children of the Corn and DITC, I had both of those. I used to bump all that, right? His legacy remains massive despite his tragic and premature death in 1999. I was literally, gang, I was riding through New York at night. I believe it was at night. I was riding through New York, and it came on the radio that Big L had just been shot. I was riding, just so happened, gang, that it had happened to him when I was going through New York. So I remember that vividly. Came on the radio. That's when the radio was the radio, right? That's why they saying, "Oh, it feel like New York again." When Mero went back. I mean, was it Deezus or Mero? I think it's Deezus. One of them, Deezus or Barrow. One of them went back to Hot 97, and he got that New York swang, twang, swang, this, that, and the third, right? But I remember when the Big L passed, right? So, and a lot of people say, and I'm gonna say this. You guys say this. It becomes myth at this point, because you guys say it wouldn't be no Jay if Big L was still alive. Stop that. Stop that. Stop doing that. Jay was gonna be Jay regardless. If Big L was alive, y'all say that. Nah, we're not gonna do that. They would have sharpened each other's steel. Okay, they would have sharpened each other's steel. And I'm just gonna say this: Big L would have needed to expand. He would have needed to expand his subject matter. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. Number 3 is Mase. Few artists have dominated the radio like Murder Mase during the Bad Boy era, blending a smooth, effortless flow with inescapable pop rap hits. His debut album, Harlem World, went quadruple platinum, proving his incredible commercial impact. Okay, so a lot of you guys slept on Mase, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know if you guys, the people in the chat, were there, but I was there, and we used to hate Mase. I'm going to be honest. We thought this dude was the shot. We thought he was the problem. You remember when Soulja Boy came out and everybody thought Soulja Boy was the problem? We thought Mase was the problem at the time. We were like, man, this shiny shoot shit, da da da. We really was annoyed that Mase was bright, like he was like thumbing his nose up, like, "How you mad?" He the one perfected that "you mad" shit, because he was getting so much hate in the game. But we eventually came around and let Mase live, da da da. But you gotta understand, it was Mase was running with Diddy, and Diddy was very braggadocious, and he took Mase out of the Murder Mase and turned Mase into this, you know what I'm saying, this very flashy female. He was very based on going after the ladies, and it was female orientated. All right, let me continue. We bigging up Harlem first before we rip it down to what it is right now. Number 4, A$AP Rocky. A$AP Rocky, it says that it says A$AP Rocky bringing a massive paradigm shift to Harlem in the early 2010s. A$AP Rocky went around that blog era when they started putting people in blogs. That's how you started finding out about rappers from blogs and shit. So A$AP Rocky redefined New York sound and fashion with his mesmerizing cloud rap delivery and A$AP Mob Collective. With his mesmerizing cloud rap delivery and A$AP Mob Collective, he became a global superstar who bridged the gap between uptown and high-end fashion, right? Water in the cup, gang. Hydrate. All right. Number 5, Jim Jones. Now, this is controversial. Juelz Santana is the most charismatic breakout of Dipset. Juelz defined the mid-2000s mixtape era. His punchy off-cuff delivery and undeniable charisma made him one of the most sought-after features in the game. Let me check this super chat on over here. It's a D2. He said, D2B, Big L has serious skill, but he needed to expand his subject matter and grow as a person. The posthumous release, Guided by Nas, one of the North Stars of hip hop, showed the good, bad, and ugly about our roots and the artist. So, he did have some. Salute for the super chat. Appreciate you. He did need to grow as a person, but let's think, when Big L died, he was young. So Jay was young too, but when Big L passed, he was young, and his subject matter was limited. I feel like they were supposed to sign him. Rockefeller was supposed to sign Big L, right? Rockefeller was supposed to sign Big L, but I think that Jay still would have. He still would have been better than Big L. He still would have been better than Big L. I don't think Big L would have ever surpassed Jay, because I think Jay just was really smart. I'm just thinking Jay was really smart even at that time. He just was a better MC to me. All right, let me continue. How we doing? How we looking? Did it fix it? Did the sound fix or what? Let me see something. Are we back? We good? I think we back. I think we good. Let me know. So let me continue. All right. I don't know what's going on with the internet. Let me continue. Number 7 was Curtis Blow. One of hip hop's foundational figures, Curtis Blow was the first rapper to sign with a major label and the first to have a certified gold rap song, The Breaks. He laid the architectural groundwork for mainstream rap success from Uptown Manhattan. So Curtis Blow, I'm gonna be honest. I'm from the era where Curtis Blow, and I really respect Curtis Blow, and I know quite a few of his songs, but I was never really that big of a Curtis Blow fan. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Even back in the day, but Curtis Blow he's a king. He's a really important pillar of this hip hop thing, and I got mad respect for him. And I do know basketball and this, that, and the third. He is one of the greatest. He does belong in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. Okay, let me continue. Dougie Fresh, number 8, known as the Human Beatbox. Dougie Fresh is a true hip hop architect. His classic tracks with Slick Rick, like Lottie Dottie and The Show, are among the most sampled and influential recordings in the history of the genre. Dougie Fresh, that song, The Show, made me want to become a rapper. I had heard rap before that, but that song, when I heard that song, I realized I could do this too. Dougie Fresh is so dope, gang. And he's not the best rapper by far, but he is a performer. He is a showman. And this guy will go on down, he will go on in history, hip hop history forever. Even with the beatboxing, this guy will be a legend. Okay. So no disrespect. I love Dougie Fresh. Salute to the king, Dougie Fresh. Let me keep it pushing. Number 9, Kool Moe Dee. This is all Harlem, gang. I didn't even know Kool Moe Dee was from Harlem. I'm just gonna be honest. A pioneering battle rapper and a key member of the Treacherous 3. Kool Moe Dee was one of the first MCs to win a Grammy. His complex lyricism and historic feud with LL Cool J are the stuff of hip-hop legend. Gang, we got legends out of Harlem. I don't know how we got here where we got Dame Dash, Jim Jones, and Max B acting crazy. Maybe it's that Harlem, that swag. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they just that confidence turned to arrogance, and now these guys are doing anything it takes to get to it's all about getting these numbers, gang. It's all about getting the content. A lot of this stuff is content. And Jim Jones already told you he knows how to troll. He does this stuff to troll. He gets the zeitgeist going, he gets his name out there, and you go start playing his old music. And voila, this is where he stays. That's why he thought he was more influential than Nas, because a lot of people run to his music when he goes viral. So all this stuff that they're doing now, gang, Dame Dash is 100% only talking to go viral, only says what he says to go viral. Him and Jim Jones, right? And Max B just got out of prison. I don't know. I thought Max B was going to be good for a good year and a half, 2 years. Dope. Max B is bugging out, gang. I'm just going to be honest. That's what it is. Content farming. Salute to Ghost Gaming, right? Let me continue. We almost done. I'm gonna get to these other guys in a minute, but I want to show y'all Harlem got legendary people. I don't know why we're here. I don't know what's going on with these 3 guys right here representing Harlem, kind of crazy. All right, number 10, Dave East. That's a high spot for Dave East. He kind of new to this game with the people that's on. Everybody that's on here is 20, 30 years, 40 years in. Dave East probably 10, but they putting him at 10. All right. Dave East carrying the torch for gritty classic New York boom bap. Dave East has established himself as a modern standard bearer for Harlem lyricism. Backed by a relentless mixtape run and Def Jam releases, he's known for his sharp storytelling and vivid street tales. So let me say this. This is an honor to be on this list, Dave. This is an honor to have your name aligned with these guys like Dougie Fresh and Kool Moe Dee and Curtis Blow and Joel Santana and Jim Jones, right? Did I do Joel Santana? Did I miss Joel's at 6? Let me know. If I missed Joel's at 6, let me know. I don't feel like I said Joel's. I think I skipped over him. Did I skip over him? Youngest and most charismatic breakout of Dipset, Joel Santana defined the mid-2000s mixtape era. His punchy off-the-cuff delivery and undeniable charisma made him one of the most sought-after features in the game. I think I missed. I don't know. Let me know if I skipped Joel Santana. He was number 6. Feel like I skipped him. Number 11, Black Rob. Rest in peace, Black Rob. I did a show with Black Rob up here in New England, and humble guy. First show we did, the fight broke out right before he was supposed to perform, so he left. He said, "I'm gonna come back." Right, him and his brother was like, "We'll come back if you do it again. We'll come back." But he ain't even perform. The fight got crazy. Had to shut the shit down. Now, second show, he came up, did his job, he was a gentleman. All right. Keyshawn said, who said I did Joel's? Justin said I said Joel's. Okay, salute. Number 12 is Diddy. Can't take it from him. He is from Harlem, and he was a rapper, allegedly. Diddy was the first dude that was, not the first, but one of the most proudest dudes to have a ghostwriter. I've never seen nothing like it. He was proud. I don't worry about write rhymes. I write checks. Diddy was proud to have them ghostwriters. Number 12, though widely known as a mogul and producer, Sean Diddy Combs has penned and performed verses on some of the biggest records in hip-hop history. I don't know if he ever wrote no record. I don't know if he wrote no rhymes, gang. I'm just going to be honest, right? His presence and executive guidance were instrumental in putting Harlem on the mainstream map. Number 13, Vado, a major staple in the 2010s Uptown revival. Vado is known for his raw lyricism and frequent collaborations with Camron. His Slime Flu mixtape series cemented his status as a heavy-hitting Harlem bar smith, right? So I don't know if y'all agree with Vado, but I'm going to give you guys a spoiler alert. Max B is not on this list, gang. On this list, I'm just going to let you know before you get disappointed. So him thinking he the king of New York or could be in line with these kings, he ain't even in the top 20 of Harlem. Okay, no disrespect to Max B. Salute to Max B. But we just talking about hip hop to be in the conversation, so we're going to have a conversation. Number 14, Smoke DZA, a prominent figure in modern smoker rap and underground boom bap. Smoke DZA is known for his prolific output and smooth weed-laced lyricism. He has bridged generations by working with legends like Pete Rock and modern hit makers, right? So Smoke DZA is 14. 15, Spoonie G. Spoonie G is from, most of you don't even know who that is. He even before my time. Spoonie G is old, gang, but he a legendary, one of the first, one of the greatest. Let me read this. A true pioneer whose early tracks such as Spoonie Rap and Spoonie Love laid the foundation for MCing and storytelling. He was a member of the Treacherous Three and is an unsung hero of early Uptown hip-hop. So salute to Spoonie G. He's number 15. Ain't no Max B on this list nowhere, gang, but we still gonna keep pushing. Now, you guys tell me if you agree with this one. If you guys remember the blog era, then you remember Charles Hamilton. I know Charles Hamilton gets that rep as the guy that disappeared. He was the guy that never was, right? The greatest you never heard of. But Charles Hamilton, at one point, they were lining him up to be one of the best. They were starting to say Charles Hamilton was about to be one of the. I think they had a feature article on him in like the Source, naming him like the next up. Like I remember Charles Hamilton, but they're saying he was number 16 in hip hop. I'm gonna let the chat tell me if they agree with that. And I know Justin, you from Harlem. Let me know if you agree with Charles Hamilton on this list. A prodigy whose rapid fire lyricism and genre bending production made waves in the late 2000s, known for his introspective and deeply personal music style. His cult following values his intense musicality. So he still has a cult following, I guess. I really haven't heard much from Charles Hamilton. All right. You guys can tell me. McChilson say spitting. Okay. That's what they listen. He was up. I don't know what happened. I think the music, like him and Jean Grey and a couple other people, the game just passed them by. Just, you know what I'm saying? Asher Roth, like it just passed them by. Tyler was one of the few who could get out of that phase and reinvent himself. But a lot of them guys from that vlog phase with allhiphop.com used to tell you who was good and you had to wait till they told you and shit. A lot of them are gone. Most of them are gone. But well, I mean, A$AP Rocky's still around. Let me continue. Number 17 is Jay Mills, right? Jay Mills, a battle rap legend out of Harlem who transitioned to a successful mainstream career, most notably with Young Money. His rapid fire, punchline heavy style made him a force to be reckoned with during the 2000s mixtape circuit. I know a lot of you are Jay Mills fans, and there's a lot of controversy with Jay Mills, and he fell out with quite a few of these guys from Harlem, but he's number 17 on this list. Harlem got some spitters, gang. I don't know why we got here where these guys are spending more time trying to content farm and this, that, and the third, and get and go viral rather than just rap. I understand that rap don't pay the bills like they say, but here go Dame Dash talking about he's starting a new label. We're gonna get to that. Number 18, A$AP Ferg, a vital driving force behind the A$AP mob. Ferg brought an undeniable, hype-driven energy to Harlem. His rhythmic, eccentric tracks like Work and Plain Jane have become massive stadium anthems. So we're going to see. I mean, you know, A$AP Ferg, I feel like he kind of, I'm going to be honest, I think he might have had his run. It's going to, I mean, he's still doing his thing, but I think A$AP Rob might be on the back end of his career. I'm just going to be honest. He's still doing his thing, I guess. But let me continue. Mary J. Blige's ex-husband daughter smacked Charles Hamilton on camera. It went viral. He's cooked ever since. Sheesh. Oh, damn. I forgot homeboy's name. Wasn't homeboy low-key abusive, though? Mary J. Blige ex low-key. Ben Frank, I see you. Peace. Number 19, Loaded Lux. They put Loaded Lux on here. One of the most revered battle rappers of all time. Loaded Lux is celebrated for his profound, multi-layered lyricism and theatrical delivery. His performances on the Ultimate Rap League stage are considered some of the greatest displays of modern MC. And I'm going to be honest, that Loaded Lux video where he was talking to dude like his father, like he was just breaking him down, gang. That was a masterclass exhibition of battle rap. We've never seen nothing that just devastating. He was just talking to him, like breaking down his whole life. And that's probably where Dot got that. I can say he got it from there, but it kind of inspired Dot doing Meet the Grams, low key. And number 20, Sheek Louch, honorable mention. Though famous for repping Yonkers as part of the Locks, Sheek Louch was actually born in Harlem. His rugged blue collar lyricism completes a formidable trio with Jadakiss and Styles P. So Max B is not on this list. They put Sheek Louch on here. They put Sheek Louch on here over Max B, gang. And I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about Max B, because Max B had a hell of a week, and I get it. You're supposed to be confident, but not like this. I want to read this conversation. Stock bundles did not make the list, gang. Stock bundles did not make the list. Rest in peace, right? But what's happening is Max B feeling himself, gang. He got the wind underneath his wings. He got them tracks with French Montana, and they're getting a little buzz. The hook, the hook on one of them joints, I'm like, ooh, this is more so a few years ago. It would have been better. This kind of hook, they playing it, right? End of the day, Max B feels like he should be placed very high in the annals of New York rap. To me, I don't see it, but you guys are more plugged in. Yes, he's going to rock out in New York. He's going to have records in New York. And yes, a lot of those youngsters, those YNs in New York, their moms and dads were playing Max B for them, so they know who Max B is. I'm just going to be honest. And Chapo, you are right. the list kind of trash. Let's just be honest. The list is kind of trash, but that's the list according to Google, right? So they pulled from another list somewhere. I don't know where it came from, but end of the day, that's the list, right? Now, most people in Harlem of a certain age, Max B all day. But did you guys see Max B come out at Summer Jam? This is Max B at Summer Jam. It ain't work out well. It didn't work out well at all, gang. I believe it was Summer Jam. One of them stages Max B hit, and they was like, I don't know about this. Okay. So for Max to feel like, and again, he's an older artist, but he ain't as old as the people he's saying that he's better than, right? He's saying he could rock with LL Cool J, he could rock with Biggie, this, that, and the third. Let me read this article, but I get it that he's an older artist, but you gotta respect the ones that came before you. Max B places himself behind Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas in the top New York rap debate by Erica Marie for HotNewHipHop.com. Rapper Max B stirred the pot when he placed himself amongst New York rap greats while dissing Big Daddy Kane. I saw it. He did diss Big Daddy Kane. He was clowning, right? He was trying to do it respectfully, but there's no way to respectfully say Kane ain't got no records. He was basically saying, I ain't see Kane in the kiosk when I was up north. Well, let me finish. Rappers are constantly having conversations about who ranks in top lists, and Max B placed himself amongst the perceived greats. Discussions regarding who the GOATs are in hip-hop have permeated the culture for decades. Now Max B and French Montana have sat down with Gilly and Wallow, here we go again, stirring up some shit for $1 million worth of game, and the conversation shifted to Max ranking himself on the list of New York rappers. Quote, look, after Big J and Nas, you can put me on that motherfucker right after that. So this is Max saying Big J, Nas, then him, gang. Let me finish. That's how I feel about it. After that, I can prove it. After them, you can't really put them up. Wallow wanted to clarify that Max B really believed he stood on with the legends in the game. Is Max B a top rapper? So then they go, so after Big J, Nas, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Wallow began before being interrupted. Quote, when it comes to creativity or just consistent songwriting, I just don't think anybody got the catalog to match me. Look at my catalog. Look at my tapes. Look at my domains. Look at my coke. Say, look at the coke wave. This is Max B. He said this. I'm not playing no clips tonight. Not playing no clips tonight. French interjected as well, saying that some of the artists have a 1 or 2 year run. Wallow countered by expressing that Kane has continued his run for decades. Max wasn't impressed. Quote, Kane, I ain't seen Big Daddy Kane. When the last time you seen Big Daddy Kane? Nigga, I just did 18 years. I ain't seen Kane. He wasn't even on the kiosk. So, gang, let me just say this. Some people not equipped to have this conversation. Wallow and Gilly gonna let him rock out. They're gonna let him say this shit. And Wallow tried to give some pushback. He tried to say, but wait, Kane had a run. He's still touring. But that's not for somebody like Max B. You probably gonna have to be more direct, right? You're gonna have to say, nigga, you're not even popping here. How you gonna say you bigger than these guys? Like I get it that you feel like you can go out and rock, but what level you think Kane is at worldwide? What Wallow was trying to tell him is that Kane still tours consistently and constantly, even though they on those old schools, those big 30 acts tours, this, that, and the third. Kane's still moving. He make money every single day. And his name is recognized in the Hall of Fame. Like Kane is Kane, Big Daddy Kane. So you can't go at a legend like that. Okay. And I think Wallow and Gilly, they're more so, they don't want to offend their guests, this, that, and the third by calling them out. But this is egregious, gang. He basically saying everybody after Biggie, Jay, and Nas, he can get with him. Come on, dog. It's not even just about Kane. He's naming that's knocking off 50 guys. First of all, I don't know. First of all, in my chat the other day, it's people in my chat that never heard of Max B, believe it or not. It's people like, I don't know who Max B is. And I'm like, exactly. Exactly. But end of the day, right? And I see you with some Chapo saying the Coke Way, $1 Million Baby. Right, I get it. But we talking all time, okay? Max B was gone for 18 years. How much of a catalog could he really have? So you talking about stuff that's damn near 20 years old, right? LL is LL, gang my G. You're not gonna, no. And I don't think he's a good, I don't even think he, didn't he get, so when he came out, he was performing with the lyrics. Then when he did the joint with, he went on stage and he accidentally made that slip up where he dissed Jim Jones on stage, said that he did the record about Chrissy. That was because the DJ played the record with the vocals. He didn't even know the DJ was going to play. So I'm like, you are performing with your vocals playing, talking about MCs that really, really do this. They really do this, Max. Big Daddy Kane would never step on no stage and rap with his vocals. Okay? And Homebody said, I don't know who Max B is either. It's a lot of people don't know Max B. Max is bugging. Max bugging, gang. Chapo said Kane Stuff is 20. Kane Stuff 35 years old. Kane Stuff is old too. Right? Toy said, I'm from the town and that hit hard. Harlem is, listen, Harlem bugging out. But see, old niggas, they live in the past, gang. Old niggas, Max B probably living in his head, it's still whatever year he went in. And he still got that motion. No, it ain't that no more, gang. This not that. So Max, I need you to understand these guys are they're legends for a reason. And I can literally give you 10 rappers from New York that I'm sorry, 50. I'm just gonna be honest, that I'm put in front of Max. And I'm gonna dig deep in the bucket, but I'm gonna get him, right? I'm just gonna be honest. Now let me continue, because Max, then people picked up on the story. So they start feeding into it. And he's going to get more interviews. So now he did another podcast and stormed off the podcast, right? Stormed off the podcast because he wasn't on that list, okay? So Max really in his feelings about this shit is crazy. Let me read this article. Max B storms off mid-interview after Complex excludes him from New York rap rankings. And I'm going to be honest, I would 100% bet Complex did that because Max B went viral for saying he was 5th in New York. I guarantee you, whatever list they made probably came out because of Max B. Okay? So let me read this, right? I don't know when the list came out. We're not showing no videos tonight. Max B wasn't feeling Complex rankings. This is from Aaron A. for HotNewHipHop.com. Max B wasn't feeling Complex's rankings. Max B has been on the roll ever since he came back home. The Harlem rapper's jovial spirit has spread across the timelines. His performances have gone viral, and he wasted little time getting back into the flow of releasing new music, including his latest project with French Montana. French is really holding him down, right? French is the one that held his back. Remember, they was all kind of back and forth about who was going to have Max when he came out. Remember that? It got a little, it had reached a little fever pitch that they were saying, what team was he going to rock with, French got him. He held him down. Salute to French. He did his thing. Okay? He did his thing. He's looking out for him. Let's just say that. So let me continue. Now, there's no doubt Max is a legend, but whether he ranks among the top 50 rappers from New York City is subjective. He declared himself behind Jay-Z, Nas, and Biggie among New York's finest. Gang, this is insane to me, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. It's crazy because you're not even a spitter. You're putting yourself with spitters, gang. Like these dudes got Ginzu blades. They slice heads off with their verses, and Max don't do none of that. So how are you top? How are you number 4? Like in what? Where at some point delusion kicks in. At some point, ego gives way to delusion. Put Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, then me. This is wild, gang. Okay? This is wild. But let me continue. A claim that sparked a lot of conversation online. But most recently, Max's reaction to Complex top 50 New York rappers of all time went viral. When it was revealed that that they excluded him entirely. Now, gang, listen, you got to understand what's going on. This is a room full of hip hop rap fans. A room full of rap fans. I think that complex list, it'd be at least 8. 8 guys and female women make that list. So that means a room of 8 or more people. And some of them gotta be from New York. Some of them gotta be from and none of them put him on there. Come on. Tanya said, I don't know Max B. None of them put Max B on there. The entire room did 50 rappers and no one said Max B, gang. Darius said, who is Max B? It is what it is. This is the level of delusion that we dealing with. Harlem, come on. Chapo, you a real Max B head. I see you. Chapo like, man, listen, come on, man. You bugging. You had to be there. Let me continue, though. I'm not dissing. I'm just, this ain't a diss record. It's a real record. Let's just talk. I don't even see my name up there, Max said as Jordan Rose went through the list. Huh? Now you know what I'm putting my name on top. That's crazy. You ain't got the Dawn up there? You think all them niggas better than me? Max continued as the host rattled off names like Prodigy and Ghostface Killer, rightfully so. Max B left the interview abruptly. I'm finished with this interview, he declared. Although everyone thought it was a joke at first, including French Montana, Max B walked out of the studio. We run New York, nigga, don't talk. Max is heard saying in the distance before someone off camera confirmed that Max actually left. 45 minutes later, Jordan revealed that French Montana was still trying to convince Max B to complete the interview. So let me continue this article. They say, why didn't Complex include Max B in their top 50? I'm going to let you guys in the comments tell me if Max B should have been in there. Eventually, French Montana came back to complete the interview when he defended Max B, saying that it was crazy for him not to be on the top 50 list. Jordan explained that the list included a lot of OGs who built hip-hop too. The defense is he was gone away for a long time, but not his fault, obviously. So let me get up here. Because Toy Toy said, I put Max between 50, right? Toy Toy put Max 38 between 30. So let me make sure my mic's still working. Max B was probably a hit in prison. Emil said, I literally forgot Max B existed. Vincent said, Max B in my top 350. Damn, Vincent, that's gold. Homebody says music wasn't bad, though. He just an artist that never was. Toy Toy said Vincent is bugging, right? It's mixed in the comments. A lot of you don't even, this is what it is. A lot of you don't know Max B, or you're putting them low on the list in the 30s, mid to late 30s on a list of 50. All right. Ghostface would destroy Max B. F out of here. So Dr. 3 is rocking with Max. I mean, rocking with Ghost. As I would expect. Gang, you got to understand, it's too many spitters in New York. And if you're going by that, then yeah, okay. It's too many spitters in New York. You got 9 niggas just in the Woo by themselves. That's just Woo. Too many spitters in New York. Too many, gang. Asiam said, I genuinely never heard of him. It's a lot of people that never even heard of Max B. I'm just going to be honest. Max is bugging. And I get this one. I'm gonna give him, right? I'm gonna give him this. A lot of people in New York are street people. They on the streets, they play this stuff right there on the block, right? They play it right on the block. This is what it is. We outside, da da da. Or if you listen to the radio late at night, it's coming on the radio, right? But a lot of people got their music back then from 106 in Park, TRL. They got it from the daytime radio. And I'm not sure how much Max was on the radio. Some people wasn't getting that vibe, wasn't getting that edge, that edgy music that he was doing. Some people wasn't hearing that, obviously. And when I did my research on Max B, a lot of the old stuff that came up was very New York, very, very, it felt very underground. It felt very New York mixtape type stuff. And a lot of people, let's just be honest, aren't mixtape people. Right? Hip hop heads are, but everybody's not. So to me, I don't think, and I'm just going to say this and I'm going to move on. I'm going to say it. I don't think you can be legendary New York. I'm about to put my foot in my mouth. If you really only hot on mixtapes. Now, he just not only hot on mixtapes, right? But I feel like you're going to be really hard pressed to find more than 4 solid Max B joints. I know I sound crazy, but like I said, it's mad people in here never heard of him. I wasn't jocking him like that. I told you my daughter was listening to Max B, right? I wasn't jacking Max B like that. I'm just gonna be honest. A couple records I have heard and I liked them, but I wasn't on Max B. Now I know a lot of people that was on him. A lot of dudes that I rock with on Max hard. They on Max hard. I'm just gonna be honest. But for enough for him to be in the, I don't know. Maybe we got to ask some more New York people. Do he belong in that top 50? I got to see the top 50 list, right? I would have to see the list. I would have to see that list. And I don't even want to get into the list. I'm just going to leave it at this. If you was asking me to sit there, you gave me an hour, right? Give me an hour and a pen and a pad. And you said, Charles, give me your top 50 in New York only rappers. Gang, I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it at this. I highly doubt I would put Max B on them 50s. I would get to probably 55 before I get to Max B. It's just too many. Over the years, it's too many. Too many of them, gang. Right? I'm just going to be honest. Shatar Black Girl said, there's easily 100 rappers before him. Please. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. I'm just going to be honest. So him storming off, that's all ego. Pass the joint. Max ain't on that list. No, Max is not. Max not on Complex's top 50 MCs from New York list. And I am not mad. Right? I'm not mad. So I know Chapo's going crazy in the comments. He's like, he not having it. He not having none of it. But let me see. Slick Tom wrote a thing. So Slick Tom said 50, Big Pun, Ghostface, ODB, Prodigy, Big L, Nas, AZ, all of them better than Max B. Mr. Cheeks, Freaky Ty, I don't know about Freaky Ty, LL Cool J, Sticky Fingers, KRS-One, Biggie, Royal Flush, Styles P, Jadakiss, Chic, Papoose, Stack, Bundles, $500,000, Nori, Camron, right? Nas, Mase. I'm assuming he meant Mase. I'm putting every single name on that list, except maybe Freaky, except maybe Freaky Ty. Except maybe Freaky Ty. I'm putting every name on that list. Even Royal Flush, I'm putting every name on that list. Stack Bundles, every name on that list ahead of Max B. And no, I'm not from New York. So I guess you got to be from New York to really have a say in this list, but I'm not. And I still say I'm not putting Max B. Toy Toy said Rough Riders, The Firm, the whole Rockefeller, all of them were from New York, though. Lost Boys, Wu-Tang, Bad Boys. What we talking about now? Damn, Pastor Joints said MC Light over Max B. God damn, we ain't even put no female. It's at least 15 female rappers from New York that I'm putting on there before Max B. And I know that's hard. That's a hard bar. But I'm putting Light and Queen Latifah. Matt and Latifah ain't from New York though. But it's a couple of them, right? And I get it that Max did his thing, and I might be bugging, but I'm not. It's gonna be real hard. If I put him, it's gonna be in the 40s, right? Ain't Cannabis from New York? Like, we could do this all day. Like, it's too many, gang. What Cannabis from Jersey or New York? It's too many. It's just too many, gang. It's way too many that you're not going to be able to exclude to put Max on there. Too many. Shit, even Run DMC, it's too many. It's too many. Right? But that's where Max left it at. He walked out the interview. He felt they disrespected him. So end of the day, I'm feeling like the ego and the arrogance is getting it's doing too much. At this point, you're going too far. You reel it in, right? Just reel it in. You're starting to make people, he had a lot of goodwill. You're starting to make people kind of pull back a little bit, right? Second guess, because I was second, and now I'm second guessing. I'm like, Max be low key. Is he that guy? Like, is he that guy that just be bugging, right? Is he just like, I like his spirit. I like he's always smiling, staying out of trouble, doing this, that, third. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what we talking about? Like, wait, hold up. Now, I come running when you start disrespecting the hip hop legends, gang. I'm not good with that. I don't play well with that. I don't play well with that at all. When Jim Jones started dissing Nas, I came running, gang. I don't like it. So it sounds like he dissing a lot of legends right here. He dissing LL, he dissing Big Daddy Kane, quite a few people. I don't like it. And Kane came out with a freestyle. They trying to say that Kane was coming at Max B. I think the freestyle was just a freestyle. I think he said it just to show you I can still spit. Don't forget about me. He wasn't dissing Max B. People trying to get that narrative. Oh, Big Daddy Kane has responded to Max B. No, I don't think that's what that was. I think he just showing dudes, yo, listen, I can spit, right? Chapo said, I like that. Chapo said, I like that Max walked off that interview. Only thing about that, Chapo, is you're making yourself like you can't handle things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to laugh. You're supposed to laugh that off. You're supposed to show yourself as someone who can take a joke, even if it's a joke or not. You're not supposed to lose your composure like that. And maybe they was playing in his face. I don't know. You're not supposed to lose your composure over nothing like that. I'm just going to be honest. Chapo like, F that, fuck that, right? He's like, I get it. And I get it. It is what it is. That's some Harlem shit. But end of the day, to me, walking off that interview, you could have stated your case. He could have named the people that he should have been over. Sit there and say, like, remember when Joe Budden started naming, when Joe Budden was under Method Man on that list, and Joe Budden pointed out Method Man, like, Method Man ain't better than me. He got him in a lot of trouble, but he sat there and he ate it. Max B could have defended himself. Right? I don't know. Toy, he did drop some new records. Him and French Montana got about 4 or 5 new records right now, 3 or 4 records. So he did drop some new records, Toy. He got some new records, and they kind of popping right now in New York. So I'm told, right? I ain't been through New York in a while, so I heard that Max B is back popping in New York, right? So now, let's get to the next one. And I had such high hope for this guy too, Jim Jones, right? I had high hope for Jim Jones because when Jim Jones made up with Jay-Z, and humbled himself and walked into that title office and that Rock Nation office after all the shit he said about Jay and sat down with Jay on some man-to-man shit and signed that deal with Jay, that exclusive title deal, because he could have kept dissing Jay or got with him. He got with Jay, and he actually, I thought it was going to be some shit where he was going to, I'm going to be honest, I thought Jim Jones was going to get with Jay and then start sneak dissing. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. Slick Tom said Max B is in Harlem's top 10, but New York as a whole, nah. So Jim Jones got with Jay-Z and took it serious. And his first releases off that deal with Tidal, it fell apart, right? When he didn't stay there that long. Okay, let's just be honest. But the first releases were solid. Like the beats were dope. He was working with who was he working with? Somebody can tell me he was working with, but he was making some dope ass music when he first signed that deal with Jay. And I was impressed because I really thought Jim Jones was absolute really garbage. Like I thought he was the worst rapper in Dipset, but he honed the craft. And I sat there and I'm telling you, I'm an MC, so I'm sitting there listening for your shit to be trash first. So I'm sitting there listening to Jim shit and I'm watching the video. I'm like, yo, this nigga low key, this shit all right. Right? I'm like, it take a lot to make niggas be like, this shit's all right. I was like, yo, this shit all right here. I couldn't front on it. So from that point on, I said, I'm looking at Jim Jones differently. He obviously respects this game. He obviously is taking it serious, and he's trying to elevate his craft. Now, that's then, this is now. We've seen Jim go down a rabbit hole of trying to make I see I'm going crazy in the comments, trying to make a name for himself in the podcast space. Now, a lot of older gentlemen and elder statesmen have found their lane in podcasting, right? They're going crazy on Jim in the comments saying he couldn't get off them pills. I'm not going to say that, right? And Chateau said he worked hard. Asiam is not feeling him, said he washed. Raymond said he buns. Listen, I'm talking a few years ago. He was on his pivot, right? So I was listening to a lot of his stuff after that, but at that time, that when I was listening to it, I said Jimmy is very improved, and he was putting in work, okay? But then he got a little too big for his britches, and he started to do this podcasting stuff, and he was coming out with things to make you go, right? And it became all about the content, and he started to say some things to run up the needle, the zeitgeist, and get him in people's conversations, which took a turn for the worse. Then he started to disrespect people like Nas, and I was like, I didn't like that because it felt like it was personal, and it felt like he really, really was believing this stuff, and all of that energy, all that 50 Cent energy, that they was throwing forth. Nas didn't deserve that because Nas don't bring that to nobody. Nas minds his business. He puts on for hip-hop. He makes sure hip-hop has a space. He makes sure the legend, Nas right now, is living up to the hype of what he's supposed to be. Nas is supposed to be a king of hip-hop that carries this shit on his back and makes sure it gets treated fairly. And Nas is putting everybody on. I believe he signed De La Soul. I believe he signed AZ. He put out the Biz Marquis documentary. He put out the documentary about the Supreme Team. He's done a lot of stuff to make the mark of hip-hop. It's very selfless. He spends a lot of time making sure the culture is protected, right? Mass Appeal Records, they would take a loss before they let the culture go unprotected. They will put out a group that's very, very vital to hip-hop, but they won't they won't compromise, right? They will not compromise. And that's what Nas is bringing to the table. So for Jim Jones to disrespect Nas in any kind of way, I felt the way. And I said as much. I started off slow, but then he kept coming, doubling down, this, that, and third, on that Harlem shit. And you see what Harlem does. It's a lot of ego, a lot of like, it's very disrespectful, this, that, and the third. And I understand that that's what Harlem stands for. I'm from DC and we carry things a certain kind of way too. But end of the day, you got to respect the ones that's before you and the ones that did it better than you. And Jim Jones started to disrespect Nas and say crazy things like he had more influence than Nas and his catalog could go line for line with Nas. Just crazy shit. And we didn't stand for that, okay? That's where we got. And now it feels like Jim Jones has hitched his train to somebody that the culture has, to this point, like it or not, the culture itself has very strong feelings about Drake, but Jim Jones has attached himself to him. And ever since that infamous, I believe that he let them come on, or he brought him on stage when he was performing, Drake was performing, he brought Dipset out on stage. All of them have been super duper pro Drizzy. Can't say nothing bad about him. Don't say nothing bad about him around me type shit. And even when it wasn't cool to speak on him, Jim Jones would still duck his head out and say something nice about him and make sure that he knew where he stood, right? So that's been Jim Jones for the better part of the battle. A lot of guys will stay quiet, let's just be honest. But here and there, they would sneak something in and then try to act like, oh, it ain't that serious. I'm just saying my opinion about Drizzy. Well, now he's gone so far as to declare him the GOAT. When I told you when this Iceman album dropped that it was going to be a lot of people coming out of the woodwork because it's safe again. It's safe to say these open, blunt, overt praises of this guy to the point where you look like you're back on the winning team. We saw the game get flued out, and the game is very ecstatic to say these nice things because he thought he was going to get a feature, but not even that. He feels like it's the right time. You're going to be on the right side of history. Well, now Jim Jones declaring Drake is the GOAT, and he praises his pen game, gang of all things. Harlem, I don't know what's going on over there, right? I don't know what's going on. But here we are. And I'm going to read this article so you'll know what's going on, right? Jim Jones declares Drake is the GOAT. He praises his pen game by Erica Marie. I don't know if Jim Jones knows that there are ghostwriters, and a lot of people who have heard this new album, we know it ain't no ghostwriters this time because a lot of the lyrics are highly questioned for being a little simplistic, okay? But Jim Jones don't know none of that, and he's saying that Drake is the GOAT. Let me read this. This is by Erica Marie for HotNewHipHop.com. Drake's recent 3 releases have certainly stirred the industry, and Jim Jones doesn't think anyone can match that impact. The Drake conversations continue, and the rap icon's fans and friends are sticking by his side amid the controversy surrounding his latest releases. Weeks ago, he dropped the Iceman, Hibbity Bibbity, and Maid of Honor. And while loyalists have called it the trifecta of brilliance, others weren't impressed. Still, the 3 albums have broken records and climbed the charts, solidifying that no matter what, Drake will always come out on top. Jim Jones has counted himself as a Drake supporter, and he stated in a recent interview with the Danza Project, quote, "The whole battle with Kendrick and people were like, where's Drake at? I'm happy for that brother. When you plan on that level, it's expected. I'm not surprised when you got a pen game like that. He got a pen game. It's kind of hard to fail out there. It's a different level. Shout out to Drake. Shout out to the whole OVO family. Shout out to Kendrick. Shout out to both of them. But shout out to my boy Drizzy. I don't think you can shout out both of them, gang. I think you picking a side and you're standing on it. You've been standing on it for a while. I don't think that obligatory shout out really gonna matter over there at PG Lang. Okay, let's just be honest. What's going on is, and we've seen this quite a bit, but it's gotten more and more heavy as the as they say, the tables have turned and it started to lean more that way, right? It really leaned more that way because, for one, a lot of social media engagement by people who are paid to do so. There's a lot of Twitter stuff going on that's funded, right? We all see it all day, all night to combat every narrative, combat everything that we believe and stand on. They've been combating it for at least a year and a half, and it's been working, because when you got hundreds, if not thousands, of bots going out every day at war with what you got going on, some people just give up. And some people say, you know what, he ain't that bad. Just let him live. Da, da, da. A lot of people ran to hear the album because they weren't feeling the same way they were a year and a half ago. Okay. And that's by design. And that's where this guy's coming out of the woodwork, because he thinks that the tide has shifted and it's okay to come back outside, okay? Let me continue. He went on to name artists he believes who could drop 3 albums and command attention like Drake. In their heyday, Jim thinks Jay-Z and Tupac Shakur could definitely match that energy. What? What's happening? What? Hold up, gang, hold up. Let me read this again, because it sounds like this nigga saying that Drake got more fucking got more going on than Jay-Z and Pac. I'm bugging out, gang. Let me read it. Let me read this again, because it's wild, gang. Let me start over. He went on to name artists he believes who could drop 3 albums and command attention like Drake. Or he's saying if they drop 3 albums. First of all, let me just clear this up. Let me just clear this up for the people that don't know. They're going to try to make this 3 album shit sound like it's the fucking best thing since sliced bread. I don't know if niggas know 2 of them shits flop. I don't know if y'all know that. Just so you know, one did 450, 463. One did 112, some shit like that. One did 120, some shit like that, which are for Drake. They are flops. So let me just clarify. I don't know what Jim Jones is smoking on, but he's saying that Jay couldn't or Pac could match their energy, maybe, right? End of the day, could match his energy with the 3 albums. End of the day, 2 of them didn't do as well as you think, my guy. 2 of them are not going to be on going down in history as number ones and this, that, and the third. Okay, so I get it. He went 1, 2, and 3, but we're not going to be acknowledging them 2 albums in hip hop. All right. So as we're talking about hip hop and we're talking about commanding attention, well, 2 of them really underwhelmed. And I get it, they're surprise releases, but that's what happens when you surprise release 3 albums. Some people are only going to listen to 1. Your hardcore fans gonna listen to the other 2. Okay. So I don't even, Jay and Tupac don't need to match any, but they sure. I guarantee you, if Jay would drop a 3 album disc, and it would do very big numbers, and Pac would do very big numbers. He's saying that they can match the energy, but to even equate them with this guy, to me, is disrespectful. I'm just gonna be honest. Why are you equating 2 of the best lyricists with a guy who got ghostwriters? You're bugging out, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. This is the problem. We got to keep defending real rappers against a pop singer that can rap. We got to keep this a problem, gang. Keep having this conversation. Dudes that really Jay don't even write in his head. He don't accept nobody's pen, and Pac either. But we still having this conversation with a guy who sings for a living, and we got to say, well, maybe Jay and Tupac is ridiculous, gang. Let me continue. However, he couldn't name any current artist with the same impact. Kendrick, what are we talking about? Jones noted that he isn't shading or detracting from his peers' success. One of those hosts mentioned Tory Lanez, but Jones couldn't back that suggestion. Quote, I love Tory. Whatever album he gonna put out is gonna spank and slap. But 3 albums, Tory right now, we haven't seen him. He ain't got no motion. It's just a different. The power that Drake had, the marketing behind it, and strategies behind it, the innuendos, is just a lot, gang. He promoted this shit for 2 years, gang. I literally just did a story on this. He spent $16 million out of his own pocket. That final week leading up to this, he spent $16 million on the ice, on the glove, the Michael Jackson glove, on the projectors. The projectors were $200,000 a piece. He had like 40 of them shits, gang. He to make that the CN Tower blue, spent $16 million on promo, gang. Okay, so we need to understand before we say that he's this, that, and the third. He spent a lot of money on that, and this shit is falling like a rock. 50% decrease the very next day within 24 hours. So Jim Jones, I don't know if you know, but it ain't as amazing as you think. Okay, it ain't as amazing as you think. And this shit, he promoted that shit for a very long time. And guess what happened on day 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7? GNX was beating that shit in streams still. That album is 2 years old. So Jim, I don't know what we doing here. I don't know about this GOAT talk. I don't know what's going on. All right. They don't have not one solid hit on the whole shit, gang. They're trying to force that hit into that Janice STFU. They're going to try to make that shit into a hit, but it's not catching on. If you dropped all that shit and nobody's saying nothing is a hit, nobody's saying nothing. They're like, oh, the album's okay. Some people saying it's great. Some people saying it's not great. It sucks. But at the end of the day, ain't no hit record I'm seeing where they going like this shit's hit. Ain't none of them. None of the albums. So I don't know what we're talking about, but I'm gonna keep it pushing. So end of the day, I feel like that is a L for Harlem gang. If you're gonna come in here and call this guy to go, say he got a pen, I think all of that's wild. I'm just gonna be honest. That's wild to me. So I think we got some splaining to do up in Harlem. It's hell up in Harlem. And last but not least, and that's right, you're right, Ghost Game. And this is all for all of these guys are pining for this interview that's never gonna come. I don't even think, even with the chain, the OVO chain that Academics just got, I don't even think he's going to get that interview either. He might. Stranger things have happened, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Homeboy wants to sit down with no one, right? I don't think he wants to sit down with no one. He'll go with some streamers because they're not going to really ask no real question. Ben the Don not going to get too deep, okay? So he'll go over there and they can gamble on stake and make some money at the same time, right? He can control Academics, but Academics still going to ask him some shit he probably don't want to hear. So him sitting down with Academics, they ain't know how to either. The record's already out. So we'll see. We'll see if he does a J. Cole, one of those runs that J. Cole did where he went around and did 4 or 5 interviews. They were all disasters. Let's see if he does the same thing. Okay? Let me continue. Miss Tiny, we see you in the building. Ron said, it's 1 week at #1. That lets you know. Hold on. Let me go back. Janice, 1 week at #1. That lets you know the music has no longevity. His album been be #1 for 2 weeks. If that, gang. So, end of the day, I think Jim Jones is leaping out the window. These guys are making this thing way bigger than it is. The Game and all these other guys that are kind of pining for either a verse, get a verse from him, or get on the verse with him, or an interview, or all of the above. They just want to be attached to it. I think that they're little headed. They're going too far, right? The cart before the horse. All right. So end of the day, but last but not least, let me get to the Crispy Crab. Let me get to the Crispy Crab. Right? The Chatty Patty Crispy Crab. Dame Dash, last but not least. Harlem on the rise. Let me get the Dame Dash. Harlem looking crazy, gang. I'm going to tell you what triggered me to do this video. It was Dame Dash. Because Dame Dash just as loud and obnoxious as he always was. He went on Jason Lee's podcast, and Jason Lee loved it. He's just sitting there mad annoyed, but he knows I'm going to be annoyed for a short term because this interview going to pop, and I'm going to make a whole lot of money off this Dame Dash shit. A lot of people still bring Dame Dash in to just crash out. Just let him crash out. Let wind him up, just like Charleston White. Let wind him up, let him crash out. So Jason Lee did just that. I watched it. It was tough as hell to watch, but you can't look away. It's a car crash, gang, where they both survived, they both okay, but you still want to see what the police gonna do. You still want to see how the car's gonna look. You still want to see if somebody mangled up. So you stick around. You're looking like, ooh. So you're looking at this Jason Lee shit with Dame Dash, car crash. Couldn't look away. I'm sitting there watching it like, Charles, why are you still watching this 5 minutes? You still into the shit? It's obviously two dudes that's bickering back and forth. I can't even sit through this shit. But you still keep watching because you're like, because I saw it on Twitter. I didn't see the whole thing. It was on Twitter. And Dame Dash just as Dame Dashy as he ever was, Dame Diddy, Dame Dummy as he ever was. He's still loud, arrogant, still calling himself broke, but he still want to act like he's rich. It's the most nonsense shit you've ever seen, gang. And I sat there and I saw him talk to Jason Lee about Aaliyah and talk to him about Jay-Z, but he keeps claiming he don't want to. It's the weirdest shit ever. Gang, if you ain't got nothing going on in your life, go ahead and watch that interview. But I'm going to talk about a little bit of that, but I want to get to this Dash Records, gang. Now, I don't know if you guys remember. When Rockefeller Records broke up, Dame Dash went his own way. When they had the death of the dynasty and Dame Dash went his own way. He started the Dame Dash music group. I remember it like yesterday because I went to the website to see who was on the music group. He had a rock band. He had Beanie Siegel, and a rapper I never heard of, and he had quite a few acts on. They weren't all rap acts. I looked at the roster. I looked at first of all, the website was clunky. I was like, this website is not good, right? I see you, Queen B, and I was like, the acts he got on here ain't good, right? And outside of Beans, this thing gonna fail. As soon as I saw the lineup, I saw what he was trying to do. I said, this shit gonna fail. And sure enough, it did. Dame Dash Music Group, awful name, right? But when you're a narcissist, you put your name on everything. So everything he creates, he has his name on there. Dame this, Dame that, da-da-da. Duskington Poppington. So it's some narcissist shit. Instead of thinking of a really, really cool name to take the focus off you, nope. You're going to come back and now he's naming his shit Dame Dash again. Let me read this because I feel like Dame Dash, we only know about Dame Dash because he got Jay-Z. I think all that hustling shit that Dame Dash talks, he would have been talking that shit right to where all the niggas who end up hustlers end up going if it wasn't for Jay-Z. I think he would have hustled and hustled and hustled till it backfired and it wasn't no more hustling to do. Okay? Because he still got that hustling mentality. These niggas in his 50s, he still likens everything to hustle this, hustle that. Everything is on the block, da-da-da. He got a new talk show where the talk show going to be about the OGs telling their old hustler stories. It's never original. It's never nothing new. It's the same shit. Hustling on the block, hustling on the block. So I think that the only reason we even got Dame Dash in the music business because he had Jay-Z. Make another Hove. So he made a Dame Dash Music Group. It's all my opinion, gang. He made the Dame Dash Music Group. It flopped. It failed. He went mad years. I want to say 20-something years, convincing himself and others that music was dead and he was out of it. He in the rock band. He does the rock music thing with his rock band, and that's cool. But as far as being an exec, he realized he burnt so many bridges. You need help in this. To be in the music business, you need to be able to get along with people. You need to have friends. You need to have people that like you. Nobody likes him, but he tries to tell us he don't like them. I don't want to be with these weirdos. If I got to be with them, I'd rather not do it. Dame Dash said a lot of shit, disparaging shit about the music business. So for him to 2 days ago announce he's looking for artists, that shit is ridiculous. It is absolutely asinine. Goonie Google. So let me read this because Dame Dash is looking for talent. Dame Dash is looking for talent. He even got an email here, right? He got an email here if you want to sign with Dame Dash Music Group. And you guys may be like, Charles, why are you always so hard on Dame Dash? You already know that I don't like the poor business advice he gives out. I don't like the nonsense that he spews, and I definitely still don't like this shit he did on Breakfast Club when he tried to diss the everyday working man. Ever since he dissed the everyday working man, which he still does, I ain't got no fucking boss. If you got a boss, all that shit, all the mental health workers and all the first responders and this, that, and the third that got hard-working jobs, he dissed them. And so to me, listen, forever. It's always up, forever, okay? In case you didn't know. Breakfast Club interview 10, 12 years ago, however long it was ago, that is under my skin. So I'm always going to be on this. I'm always going to be on this type of time. All right? Let me continue. For two reasons. Because for one, I at this point, I've owned the business for 15 years. I would never treat my workers the way he obviously treats his workers. You've seen how he talks about them and how he talks to them, right? He obviously is a terrible boss. And he talks down to people when he gets in these interviews talking about if you got a boss, then me and you ain't on the same level. If you ain't talking the kind of money I'm talking, then I can't talk to you. All this shit that is very arrogant and self-centered and narcissistic and ignorant. So that pisses me off. And then on top of that, the way he made it seem like that the everyday working man was beneath him and he was a boss. And that word, he kept throwing around that word boss. So I'm here to see the boss slowly but surely decline into nothingness with all these bankruptcies. He owes millions of dollars all over the place and getting sued by any and everybody, and they all winning, and he's losing all the lawsuits, but he still want to act tough, big bone, and brolic like he's rich. And I'm here to see it. Okay, I'm here to see it. It is what it is. So that's why I always make these videos on Dame Dash, because I want to remind you people, every time he take a step forward, I want to remind you that he didn't humble himself. He still ain't humble himself. He's still talking about sneakers and houses and this, that, and the third. Until he humbles himself, he's never going to get nowhere. All right? So here we go. Dame Dash announces new Dash Records venture for artists and creatives by Gabrielle Brosnaveres for hotnewhiphop.com. What up, Joyce? I see you. I see who came? Queen B came in too. All right. Let me read this. Dame Dash is building on his history with Rockefeller and opening up Dash Records for music, videos, stylists, and more. Dame has been dealing with some diss tracks from longtime foes, and he might enlist others to respond on his behalf. That's because he recently took to Instagram to announce a new company, Dash Records. Imagine getting signed to Dame. Gang, what year is this? Imagine getting signed to Dame Dash only to be told you got to diss Jim Jones or 50 Cent or both or because that's what he did with Nikki Licky, the white girl that he's calling the white Aaliyah. He had her dissing. They made a record and she was dissing. I believe she was dissing Camron. Or I think she dissed Camron for him and somebody else. So he already got the white Aaliyah. He's calling her the white girl Aaliyah. She's out here writing raps, dissing. They made a video and she's dissing. So maybe he's trying to get more artists so he can diss this guy. It's the saddest thing ever to see Dame Dash with this white chick who's absolutely terrible, awful artist. It makes no sense, but this is who he's riding with. He went from Jay-Z, gang, and State Property to Nikki Licky. This is the Dame Dash that we think we getting right now, gang. Now he put a all hands on deck. He's looking for artists. Let me continue. Quote, proud to announce my latest venture. The former Rockefeller executive captioned his post. We are searching for the best, hungry, and talented recording artists, videographers, engineers, producers, makeup artists, stylists, and digital marketeers. Share and tag your favorite creatives. Come get with the hottest record label in the world. Please email your portfolio to dashrecordinglabel@gmail.com. And I keep telling this story and I'm going to keep telling it again. I'm going to tell this story again. Right? Back in the day on Facebook, I was doing hip hop shows for years. I'm going to tell you the extent of how, I have a bunch of, I just put up the picture of rest in peace to Rob Bass. I have a picture with Rob Bass. I have a picture with a lot of rappers, right? Because I did hip hop shows for years, and I did a lot of shows with local artists, open mics, this, that, and the third. I did a lot of shows all up and down. So I had become to a point where I was a go-to promoter in New England. At any given point, I could have 300-400 rappers in my phone, texting them about shows. Oh, I'm about to do a show in Connecticut. You want in? Da da da. Shows all over the place. Da da da. Most of the New England rap scene knew who I was just from that. So I used to do a lot of business on Facebook, recruiting rappers for shows, open mics, this, that, and the third. I used to do a lot of stuff where I would do contests where you could win money, or you would I did a contest where I put your video on World Star for you. I did a contest where you could go meet and sit down with Shady. Salute to some guys here that was good. I sent them to sit down and meet with Shady Records, and they weren't ready. They won my contest up here. I was in Rhode Island. They won the contest, drove to Shady Records, interviewed, but they were so street. They were so hood. They would kill a show. They would come 40 deep to the show, kill a show, but they didn't have no music. They didn't have demos, gang. They were rapping over other people's beats. So they went and sat down with Shady Music. Shady respectfully sat down. It wasn't Eminem, but it was whoever executive that was, right? And they sat down with them, but they wasn't ready, right? So that's the kind of stuff I would do. Do contests to get you in New York, get you in front of people, da-da-da. I did a whole bunch of shit like that. Dame Dash, I saw him on Facebook. He was trying to do a rap show. He was calling like this, right? He was calling for artists, da-da-da-da. Calling for artists, this, that, and the third, right? This was when Facebook was very accessible. So if somebody tried to do that, you would see him. So he started an event. He made an event. It was Dame Dash, the real Dame Dash. It was really his Facebook. He started an event. The event was going nowhere. It was going crickets. This is what I do. I would have popped that shit. We could have went up and down the East Coast. I could have had Dame Dash name on my shit. It would have been mutually beneficial. So I inboxed him. I said, "Yo, Dame, you don't know me, blah blah blah, but I do promotions. I do rappers, da da da, this, that, and the third." He's like, "So what?" He said something very one sentence. He's like, "What can you do, or what are you offering?" Something to the effect of, "What are you da da da?" I sat there and wrote this whole thing. I told him what I do, this, that, and the third, da da. I got 300, 400, 500 rappers at any given time on my phone. I can put the word out there. I wrote this whole shit. This nigga must have read it, didn't like it. This nigga blocked me. Right? This was before the Breakfast Club and all that shit. This was before all that, right? Around that time. The nigga blocked me. I said, damn, this nigga bugging out. This nigga's really arrogant, bro. Because what I was talking about is like, okay, when it's all said and done, it was like I was going to be a partner of the event, right? I'm not going to do this shit and just what I'm. So I probably the part about me partnering with him kind of turned him off. So he blocked me. Boom. That was the end of that story. So it's shit like that that made me realize, oh, this guy really. We could. Needless to say, the event failed, and he moved on, right? But what I'm saying is, that shows you an example of a dude, instead of coming back and forth and just having a conversation, that he wrote the one sentence. I wrote back what my plan was and what I do. Nigga blocked me. Didn't even respond. So I'm like, oh, this guy's bad business. That's terrible business. Even if you don't like what I'm saying, we could work together on something in the future. You don't know that. For you to just block a nigga, like it was asinine to me. It is shit like that. And I'm like, oh, this guy don't understand business. And I just watched the shit fail, and I watch him move on to fail at everything after that. But that moment let me realize, oh, this is who he is. He doesn't have patience. He doesn't have no common courtesy. He doesn't have no professionalism. And that has moved throughout his career with that. Right? I've seen him get worse and worse and worse, and here we are. So that's just a little nugget, a little tidbit of what my experience with Dame Dash. Let me continue. This is a pretty exciting move for Dame, who has recently been dealing with some financial struggle and a lot of pushback in other businesses, art, and entertainment ventures. He's trying to go back to music because he don't know what else to do. Right? He's doing this. He opened up some kind of what was it? They're gonna say it in here, but he opened up something. He's about to open that. Probably get it taken from him because he owes so many people, gang. We will see how Dash Records shapes up in the near future. It ain't gonna shape up. He don't have no ear for this shit. If you sign Nicky Licky, anything else gonna be awful in there. Awful. So what kind of ear you got for this shit to really do anything? You don't have no patience. You don't listen to nobody, and you're always trying to be all in the video, all in the camera. Watch how you be all in the video of any of these rappers. That don't hype it up, gang. You're not popping like that to be trying to get in niggas' video. Let's just be honest. You're popping for talking shit and gossiping. Chatty patty shit. That's about it. And talk about Jay-Z. Let me continue. Whether or not, hold up. This is pretty exciting. We will see how Dame Dash shapes up. Dame Records shaped up. It's in the early stages of growth and development. Whether or not the New York native enlists newer or older names in music remains to be seen. Either way, this could lead to a lot of success for him and a great chance to get back in the game. I don't see no success with this music business for Dame Dash. I don't see it. He don't have no patience, and he really not locked in like that. And he's doing too much beefing. If he wasn't beefing and being serious, then you could probably see it. But he on too many podcasts talking too much shit. Let me continue. Most recently, Dame Dash has reminisced a lot about Rockefeller, whether in positive or negative lights. Most recently, he claimed Jay-Z didn't want to sign Lupe Fiasco because of competitive ego. This dude got more Jay-Z stories, and you hear this shit. Every time you think you've heard the last Jay-Z story, he has a new one. Now it's he didn't want to sign Lupe Fiasco because of competitive reasons. But let me read this. Sound weird to me because he signed him, okay? But let me read this. I don't think he would ever help a rapper be bigger than him, just human nature-wise. But I do remember Lupe was supposed to be with us. Lupe ended up signing to Atlantic, but Lupe was supposed to be at Rockefeller. So that's the only rapper, I think, but I don't think he saw him as a threat at that time. But he didn't sign him for a reason. Again, it was a while ago. So everybody Dame didn't sign, it was for a reason. But Jay is his ego. He don't want nobody to be bigger. Dame didn't sign everybody that walked through the door either. Kanye had to fight for them deals. They was trying to let Kanye just be a producer. They didn't even want Kanye rapping. Kanye had to go get a deal from somewhere else for Dame to sign him so he couldn't get that deal. But we're sitting here talking about Jay don't want nobody to be bigger than him. Come on, man. Elsewhere, Dame got a talk show approved. He did get a talk show on BET. Like I said, they're going to be talking gangster stories. It's like we got so much shit we could talk about, and Dame's going to talk about old stories from Hustling on the Block, but whatever. He's also doing other things to boost his profile and business acumen these days. We'll see how he uses them and how he works, who he works with to grow and expand. This is the problem. Dame's going to need support, right? Dame is going to need someone to assist. He's going to need someone to A&R these people because it sounds like he's looking for raw talent. He's not going to have enough. He doesn't have enough. He's not going to be able to let go and let somebody else do their job. He's going to need an A&R. He's going to need somebody that can actually cultivate and get good producers. He's going to need a real team. But most of these people, he burns them. So I would love to see how this thing going to work. Then he got to get Nikki Leakey because she was there first. He got to get her popping. And Nikki Leakey, let me just let her know with love, it ain't going to work, sis. It ain't going to work, queen. Rapping ain't for you. It ain't going to work. Okay? Just so you know. Now, if you can drain Dame Dash for money, then sis, do your thing. Drain his ass for money. But the rapping career ain't going to work, queen. Just going to be honest. Just so you know. In case nobody else ain't keeping it a buck with you. Rapping thing ain't going to work for you. All right? So, listen. Harlem. I don't know what's going on. Dame curled up on the couch yelling at Jason Lee. Talking about he's starting a music label when he just said ain't no future in music. He looking for artists that he gonna probably try to make them diss everybody in the game. That's not how you start a record label game. We saw a lot of dudes get hit up for jumping in other people's beefs. None of them beefs are for these new artists. They're not their beefs. So I think that we're seeing all of these three guys let this Harlem mentality go a little too far. They're getting a little too. This ain't good. And we got to reel this in, Harlem. I love Harlem. I told you I go to New York all the time. I'll probably end about there, brunch somewhere very soon. But this is the thing. For hip-hop's sake, we got to understand that everybody ain't good for the culture, especially when you're going against the grain of the culture. I feel like these three guys are showing a penchant for going against the grain. Max B jumping up, standing out of interviews, running out of interviews, telling the people that he ain't coming back because he feel disrespected. Meanwhile, it's questionable that you even belong on the list in the first place, and you're disrespecting the people that have done more than you. LL has done more than you. Big Daddy Kane has done more than you. Most of the people on that list have done more than Max B, to no fault of his own. Well, it is. Let me take that back. It is his fault, okay? Because he done something that made him have to sit down for a while. But end of the day, we're gonna do this. We're gonna say, Max B, we got respect for you and we're rooting for you no matter what. But please don't disrespect the legends of hip hop, okay? Also, Jim Jones, we know you like Drake, but we can't go. You're from Harlem, my guy. You can't be calling him the GOAT with the greatest pen. Okay? You're from Harlem. You got a pen of your own. We're rappers. You can't go at Nas, but then say Drake is the greatest and he got a pen unmatched. We can't do that. So I'm just going to be here to just remind you, this not hip hop. That's not hip hop. Okay? Last but not least, Dame Dash. Dame Dash has not been hip hop for a while. When Dame Dash poured that champagne on that girl's ass in that video, that was tough. And back then, we should have been like, okay, Dame, let's reel it in, my guy. Okay? So Dame Dash been trying to live up to Big Pimp, and he just said last week that he doesn't like to save money. He likes to spend it as soon as he gets it. So then when he gets some more, he can spend it some more. He said he don't like it. It's smelly. The green he don't like how cash smells when you keep it too long. He likes to spend it. Dame Dash is talking the craziest shit of all out of all three of them. He's literally promoting not working with people well, not paying your bills, not paying your child support, lie about everything, and try and go at your friends that used to be your friends. Go at them completely, and spend money as soon as you get it. And worry about material things and stay stuck in the 90s, stay stuck in the past. And just be just as ignorant and arrogant as you can. I see you, homebody. You said good night. Said you're going to shut down the pool in the backyard and get the dog ready for bed. Thank you for watching here too. Harlem, Much respect to Harlem, but I need y'all to tighten it up over there. I'm just gonna be honest. New York, your elders, they bugging out. They're getting a little wild for this. All of this stuff is for content. And we got to reel this in, gang. Just not even just New York. All the old, I see a lot of old heads with podcasts. And they're starting to say anything. So on that note, I see you, done deal. I'm getting out of here. I see you, Diego, Southern Lady, Queen B. I'm getting out of here. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Black, got to put a dash in there, and then Yeti. Black-yeti.com. They ship all over the continental U.S. All right. Also, Tomato Man is happening. We're talking to some artists that's going to draw it. I know a lot of you had concerns that's going to be all AI. I'm zeroing in on some people who can really storyboard this shit. Tomato Man is happening. If y'all don't know what Tomato Man is, right? I still got the fundraiser up on GoFundMe. Show some love to that. We still building it. It is happening. Tomato Man is happening, gang. Okay, so I did not forget. It is going to be a real thing. Okay. Also, last but not least, I'm starting a new program, a new show. I am going to start a new news program, a morning news program. Right? This, that, and the third news. I'm going to take a big leap. I'm going to be doing something daily for the most part. In the mornings, 8 a.m., this, that, and the third. I'm going to be covering news, the culture, daily, right? When I can. If I don't do a show, you'll know. But at the end of the day, for the most part, 5 days a week. We going in the morning, we going live, we're going to talk news, talk about all this stuff that's going on. We got to get some balance here. Order. We must have order here, okay? So lock in for that. That's coming. Most likely, that might start on Monday, 8 a.m. Monday morning. We going live. All right. So I'm just building, gang. I'm about to do some interviews. I'm about to be way more involved. Because a lot of people doing a lot of shit that I think ain't good for the culture. So we're gonna reel this in. All right. On that note, man, listen, I appreciate everybody in the building, all the mods that was in here. Miss Tiny, I see you too. Diego, I appreciate you. Diego gave me a gift for some new shirts. I'm about to announce that too. Diego did some artwork for I believe it was the this, that, and the third shirt. I'm about to announce that too. All right. So we just getting started, man. There's a lot of people doing a lot. So I'm about to do a lot. Okay. I'm gonna give y'all some alternatives and some options. All right. I'm out of here, man. I'm gonna catch you on that flip side. I appreciate you guys being in here with me, man. All right. And I'm trying not to cut myself off. So I'm gonna let it linger for a little bit. Queen B, I see the tomatoes in there. Listen, man. I'm out of here. Asiam, I see you. And Homebody's gone. And I'm out too, gang. Peace.